If you ask a random person what makes him unhappy in his job, you are very likely to hear him complain about his boss, low salary, uncomfortable workspace, or stupid rules at work. He is not lying. These things do actually have an impact on the employee's motivation. If these are not managed well, the employees in a company would be highly dissatisfied. However, even if they are managed well, they are not going to make them want to work harder or feel satisfied. This is because people are motivated by a set of factors that are not the same as the ones that will demotivate them. Employee motivation is one of the most baffling business problems for ages. People have been trying to unravel the mysteries of what makes someone happy or unhappy in their job. For a long time, we believe that satisfaction and dissatisfaction are opposite in nature. However, an American psychologist, Frederick Herzberg, demonstrated that satisfaction and dissatisfaction in your job are not directly related, and they are two different things. Frederick Herzberg is one of the most influential persons in the area of business management who is known for his motivation hygiene theory, or simply two-factor theory, which I am going to discuss in this video. Over centuries, organizations have attempted to instill motivation in workers through various methods. These methods have evolved over time. One of the earliest ways is motivating people by letting them off duty earlier. Our jobs have gradually been evolving, reducing the time someone is expected to spend at work. 6-day week was not a norm till the 1950s, and now we have a 5-day week in many companies across the globe. Another variant of this time moderation method is to allow employees to spend their time for recreation programs at work. Team bonding activities at work are very common these days. Extension of this would be the after-work parties. The idea here is that people who play together work together. This method, however, has an underlying problem. If someone is motivated at work, shouldn't that person seek to work more instead of less? Increasing salaries is the next method attempted by companies. However, salaries only motivate someone for a very short period of time. The person is going to start eyeing the next wage increase soon after that. And then comes perks. Companies have been trying to outdo one another in terms of the perks offered. It is estimated that the additional cost of perks and fringe benefits in the US runs to around 25% over the wages paid. So when these three methods run together, what they would create is a breed of employees who work less, are paid more, and are very comfortable and more secure in their job than ever. Gradually, these rewards transform into rights. The companies can never take them back. Even worse, because they see them as a right, the workers aren't going to be motivated to work because of this. That is exactly when the industry realized that the economic nerve and the lazy nerve of their employees had insatiable appetites. They had to resort to another new way of motivating. This time, it was human relations training. Companies spent years and several millions of dollars in teaching and practicing psychological approaches to dealing with workers. In spite of that, they couldn't crack the code for employee motivation. Rather than the desired result, the organizations have become very soft-spoken. Now they have to take extra care to ensure that the employees aren't hurt or offended by their policies. If they had to say please a decade back, now they have to say please 3 times. Companies came to an understanding that the supervisors and managers lacked the ability to handle the employees because their understanding of themselves was limited. This led to sensitivity training. In sensitivity training, companies spent hours of their managers and supervisors in training rooms, helping them understand themselves. They were taught coordination and building trust. At the end, they realized that the problem was not with them all along. It was the employees who failed to appreciate what they had. As a result, a new area opened up. Managements spent a lot of resources in making the employees understand what they were doing. In spite of all the propaganda created around this, the employees were still not motivated. It is because they thought the management was not listening. This gave rise to two-way communication. Organizations then spent their efforts on employee surveys, suggestion plans, and group participation programs. The management and the employees started communicating to one another, but it still did not create motivation. This is when a new thing came up. The employees wanted to actualize themselves. Actualization is about giving the employees a sense of purpose and achievement. Employees were given the big picture of the work. If there was someone tightening 10,000 bolts in a day in an assembly line, he was given the big picture of what he was building. In this case, he was building a car that gave him a sense of achievement. Another approach is to give employees a feeling that they are determining what they do on the job. This is called job participation. But there was still no motivation. That is when companies decided that employees lacking motivation must be sick. Thus came employee counseling. Counseling, in this case, was a means of letting the employees unburden themselves by talking to someone about their problems. In spite of this, the myth of motivation couldn't be fully unraveled. While all these approaches produce results, to various degrees, they only last for a short while. In the long run, there was something missing, without which companies couldn't create a motivated workforce. Frederick Herzberg wanted to find an answer to this question. He conducted research on workers in various functions spanning from engineering to accounts. He started listing events in the life of workers that result in extreme satisfaction or extreme dissatisfaction. He found that in 81% of the cases, factors like achievement, recognition, responsibility, advancement, growth, and then the work itself led to satisfaction. Dissatisfaction was found in 69% of the cases due to a set of factors that included company policy, supervision, relationship with supervisor, work conditions, salary, etc. From this, Frederick deduced that satisfaction and dissatisfaction stem from two separate sets of factors, and they are not related. The opposite of job satisfaction is not job dissatisfaction, but rather no jobs dissatisfaction. Similarly, the opposite of job dissatisfaction is not job satisfaction, but no job dissatisfaction. The first set of factors that cause job dissatisfaction stems from basic biological needs. For example, hunger, a basic biological drive, makes it necessary to earn money, and then money becomes a specific drive. These are called hygiene factors. The other set of needs relates to the need to achieve and experience psychological growth. The growth needs are intrinsic to the job. That is, they are rooted in the job content. Hence, they are called intrinsic factors or motivation factors. The hygiene factors are, however, rooted in the job environment. According to the two-factor theory, there are four possible combinations. Number 1, high hygiene and high motivation. This is the ideal situation where employees are highly motivated and have few complaints. Number 2, high hygiene and low motivation. Employees have few complaints but are not highly motivated. The job is viewed just as a paycheck. Number 3, low hygiene and high motivation. Employees are motivated but have a lot of complaints. A situation where the job is exciting and challenging but salaries and work conditions are not up to par. Number 4, low hygiene and low motivation. This is the worst situation where employees are not motivated and have many complaints. Now that we have arrived at the conclusion that the biggest motivator for an employee is the job content, how do organizations approach this problem? There are two kinds of approaches taken by companies. The first is called job enlargement. Job enlargement only makes the job structurally bigger. The employee is still psychologically at the same level and is not motivated further. This is also called horizontal job loading. There are many ways this is done. Challenging an employee by increasing the amount of production expected would come under this. For example, if one person tightens 10,000 bolts every day, see if they could tighten 20,000 bolts a day. This fails because multiplying 0 by 0 equals 0. Adding some meaningless task to a work's routine is adding 0 to 0. Rotating the employee in various job units or functions is substituting one 0 for another 0. Removing the most difficult parts of a job to free a worker to accomplish more of the less challenging assignment will fail to motivate too. This is a subtraction of 0 from 0. The other approach taken by companies is called job enrichment. It provides the employees psychological growth. This is also called vertical job loading. Job enrichment can be done by various methods. If there is a data analyst who is expected to clock in 10 hours at work, he could rather be asked to deliver the results in a flexible schedule set by him. This is removing controls while retaining accountability. Increasing the accountability would mean that the analyst can decide what actions or tasks he needs to perform on a daily basis while he is monitored on the output on a broader set of goals delivered. If the analyst is made the owner for a supporting business unit or function, it will give him his own territory or natural unity of work. If the analyst could also decide the tools that need to be used or the ability to secure resources, we would be granting him job freedom. Making reports available to the analyst directly instead of routing them through the supervisor would give them a sense of internal recognition. To enable them to grow and learn, the analyst could be exposed to new and more difficult tasks not previously handled by them. They could also be given further advancement to grow as experts in an area of choosing by assigning specific or specialized tasks in that area. Not all jobs can be enriched. Also, not all jobs need to be enriched. If only a small percentage of the time and money that is devoted to hygiene were given to job enrichment, the return in human satisfaction and the economic gain would be one of the largest that the industry and society have ever seen in people management.